You are live.
Just need to call to order. Does everybody, I guess, record the minutes? Just need to approve the minute. I'll make the motion. Second. That's what, three? Yeah, John, Jason, and Scott. Okay. Be John King, Jason Sandifer, and Scott Rathbone. For the record. All other members are here. Okay. Did we get a motion in a second? Yeah, we did. Okay. You ready for? Yeah. Yes, we go. You have any business for you, sir? You're sitting down here with the V&P. Help when you can. There you go. Okay. You ready for old business, sir? Old business. Okay. This month, well, this is a report on fuel sales. This month we sold 910.7 gallons of Jet A and 499.73 gallons of avgas this month. Year to date, we've sold 3,789 gallons of jet and 1,803 gallons of avgas. So the jet's going almost 3 to 1. So we're not making as much. We're making about the same per gallon actually on both of them, because our avgas is probably where our jet may be the down. Our avgas is up. We got hit at like it cost us $6 a gallon the last load we bought. Yeah. So overall this year we have purchased $14,712 worth of gas fuel and sold $26,075 worth. So that's our year to date on fuel. This year's budget, year to date, for the airport fuel sales, $52,715. Rental income, $45,545. Expenditures on fuel, $37,764. And then on hangers, we're at 17, 14, 15, 32,000, 45,000 income, roughly. That's year to date. Okay. The ALP, we're making some movement on it with FAA. I had a meeting with them last week. There's KDA and FAA in the city or the airport, and they're pushing through our ALP and moving the BIL or the hangar to fiscal year 25, and going to continue on with the fence project this year's. They don't have the paperwork to put the other one, so that's going to be in the ALP phase 2 or 2, the hangar. Speaking of which, that's something I want to speak to you all about. We've been looking at with the BIL money, the bipartisan infrastructure legislation money. We've been looking at a box hangar, 65 and 60. I talked to KDA, and at this point, and with the number of people that are requesting hangars that actually have aircraft in this area, I think we would be more, it would benefit us better to go ahead and build another nesting hangar, T hangar, because that will give us more based aircraft. And these are locals. These are not people that are flying in here on the weekends. These are local folks. And if we can do that, then that makes the opportunity for an FBO to say, hey, we've got more aircraft here, make it feasible, or economically feasible for that person. So I would like to get a consensus from you all that it's okay to change to the T hangar versus the box hangar. The state has told me in the meeting that it didn't matter to them. If we want to go with the box hangar or the T hangars, they're going to put the base in.
The only thing with the box hangar is we could get a bigger airplane, it's gonna burn something true. If, you know, and you don't know what.
The issue is maybe we get it, maybe we don't.
Well, I
On
mean,
the other, I know we've got something there, and
Sure.
that's the big deal on that. Right now I'm looking at something with VIL is going to take a lot of the cost out of it, and that's the other thing. I'll go into some more with the other grant monies that are coming or have been here and are coming, but I'm not sure that I can get with the cost. One of the other reasons was the cost of that single hangar has gone up almost $150,000. That's just for the hangar, not anything else. And I'm not sure that we can get the money back out of that one hangar. Now, if we had a pair of them, maybe, but you know, at this point, I don't know that I can keep it busy. It's been a long time since I had someone say something about I'd bring one in.
well, they're getting $750 a month on the 60 that Mayfield.
So that wouldn't cut it. We're looking at $700,000 just for a box hangar, a single 65 by 60 box hangar, not concrete, just the hangar itself.
They just put two of them in, Case Motorsports, and Wilson just put two in. And theirs was right at 280, concrete and all.
It's not owned by the state,
Well,
and that's the state's not going to let them put a box or a pole barn in.
well, these are rectitudes. These
The
are not mobile.
rectitudes.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can talk to rectitude on that. But right now,
But
everything
they're
else
side by
looks.
side, which it shouldn't matter to me.
Yeah.
But they're just finished a month now, so, I mean, they match everything that's out there, so they was less than 300. So that's concrete.
That's not what we're hearing. We're looking at, what was it? I can't remember the same group that looked at our other ones. They looked at it. I mean, it was 585,000 3 years ago when we first started this.
But
Now it's up to 700.
they started out at 220, and they waited so long, the metal went up, it ended up, they're gonna have a little less than 300 in both of them. So a piece.
Yeah, but it's hard to turn down 10 people.
Yeah.
I agree, and that's the issue with it. I don't have people beating at my door for me.
Totally agree.
And I've got one person that would utilize it, his stud, they would utilize it. But I don't know, even with that, if we look at the cost it's gonna take to reimburse us for that, whether or not it's gonna be doable.
The T hangers would definitely be more.
Because I have to go through a lot of steps and hit and jumps and hoops that Mayfield doesn't, because they're not owned by the park system in the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
That's it.
And that creates a lot of issues that I can't get away from.
I think that is, see those planes down the lake, so don't worry about it.
We have, 21,
21, so for them, another hangar with that.
that puts us at 29.
So the money that we get from the feds, that's all based off the state trust and the state, correct?
We get the 150,000 regardless, okay?
Well,
That can only be used for projects, and that's six.
You have to have 10 engines,
10, I'm
10
sorry,
engines
10.
on board.
You have to have 10 aircraft, and then you can get to 150,000.
Right.
Now, there may be another break point right down the road, but it's
That's
nothing in
what
our grasp.
That's what I'm wondering.
Not right. With this last year, they went to 170, I think, but it's not locked in. I think this last one was up a little bit more.
150.
More than the 150. I think it
Go
was,
up 20,000.
yeah, I think it did, but I'm
So I
not.
know the and it's station aircraft, if you have 29, but
Engines.
Yeah, this,
Not sitting on airplanes, it could be twins, but it just took a total of 10 engines to get that, it's, FAA money.
I don't think Mayfield gets any more than we get.
No, they don't.
And they're, how many aircraft base there, you know?
Oh, 30 something. You know, so.
Yeah, but we get 29, we may have people that actually want to start operating, you know, pilot lessons and stuff like that, you know, are not, because we have the number of people here.
Yeah.
Whereas
Oh,
before,
there's less support. Trust me. I mean.
Yeah.
The Mayfield's just moving with less right now. You know, very
The last person left, and I don't think there's anybody who works at space that's done that.
they got one, he comes every now and then, but the problem is they land on airplanes. They haven't, they bring the 172 back and forth from Marion, you know, because he owns the FBO at Marion. So it's trying to get the 172 down here to train. So, but
In the future of this little place, I mean, if you got enough airplanes, you know, that you could maybe get somebody to.
pretty good. Well, that
Yeah.
video,
yeah,
but.
and
It's,
there's enough people in the area that will actually, like I said, I've got 6 right now waiting with aircraft.
You get this one boy line that's 2 months behind. So that-
Yeah.
He's called it.
Yep.
He's called
okay,
Oh, he called up.
Yeah.
it. Yeah, he's not.
we don't have any.
Huh?
Matt,
We don't have any openings at all.
Suddenly, if he on the list, it's OE and just moved here. And actually, he's kept his airplane in Frank's hangar till Frank gets his airplane back from the radio shop. But
See, that's the point. I'd have to go back and look. I don't know off the top of my head. I've got, like I said, I've got 6 people, 6 individuals with aircraft. I've got the tail numbers and they're ready to put it in there. But to do that, we're gonna have to have that. So anyway, we're looking at that in next calendar year, fiscal year 25. So,
Well, the other thing I look at on like, and when you do build a big thing, you probably will get somebody to throw those things.
That's what I'm hoping.
Here,
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna have to get an overhaul.
Yeah.
that's what I'm hoping for. We can get,
If you can get a big enough group of.
get an FBO in here.
And then
and then-
FBO comes and they can sell.
Then maybe we can start looking at something for the bigger aircraft.
you know, if that was bigger, it could be a community hangar, you know, and it don't have T hangars at all.
Well,
You know, so-
the only problem with the community hangar is they would have to move it themselves, and if they gotta move somebody, they're handling someone else's aircraft, we don't have the staff to do that.
No, whoever owns the hangar, you know.
Exactly. And so the other thing is we're actually, at this point, we've been able to, between our primary sources of income outside of fuel and rental, okay, which is to take care of fuel and rental. Those 2 sources are self-perpetuating, they're self-funding themselves, okay? We want to keep it that way.
Yeah.
The rest of it, whether it's coming from the state, whether it's coming from the entitlement money, the FAA's entitlement money, those are all capital improvement project funds only. We are receiving a $200,000, have received $200,000 from the state for biennial 22, 23. 24 is going to have another 200,000. These are funds that can be used to reimburse for operational cost.
Sure.
That being said, the city will not wind up being out any money between the reimbursement of the grants from the state and the feds, plus reimbursing the city for its operational funds for the last 2 years. The city will not be out a dime.
Wonderful.
That is.
Yeah.
And then this next coming 2 years, hopefully it'll be the same thing. It'll reimburse us for mowing and maintenance and all the other. Now, we are looking at Pappy's and Reels, still looking at that. That's in the ALP. So we've actually got paperwork moving towards that as well. The fences paperwork is together and it's moving forward. So that's pretty much got it. Now, if I can get a consensus on the hangar, then we can, that'll be able to address that with FAA and KDA. So
What is the deal on maybe paving the road? It just,
They're not gonna pay for it, not at this point. State, I may have to talk, maybe transportation cabinet would do it some other way. And do that as part of their in-house stuff through the park system or something. But they're looking at us and I'm going like, we didn't bring this in here. We've actually done this other work. It's time for you guys to ante up on this road.
I just want to remember to get Rex up.
But they're not gonna give us any KDA funds for that road.
Rex got a ways around that. I mean, he can. I mean, especially if he's paving somewhere. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we mean.
What's gonna have to happen is we need to widen that road. That needs to be a 2-lane.
And then they.
And the base on it's coming apart. It'll have to be milled and reworked.
It's gonna cost some money.
Cause it looks like a dungeon, you know. just-
That's probably, to do the length of the road that needs to be done, it's probably somewhere between 200 and 300,000.
Yeah.
And that's milling and redoing to make sure the base is right and widening it as well, doing shoulder work. And that's an estimate based on some of the other roads. we've worked on.
They're pretty convincing that when they're paving that runway.
They won't use those funds for that. They're not legally allowed to.
Funds, but
They're not legally allowed to.
right.
But if they're
The
there.
same guy with
Yeah, exactly.
cheaper maybe.
But that's not the point. You still gotta mill it and rework that base.
Yeah.
Because it's coming apart.
Yeah.
That's just a road that someone threw in there quickly and badly.
Yeah, there's really no way for asphalt, I mean, they use that stuff, it's, you know, it's 110 pounds per cubic yard per inch, and they got scales when they go across with the trucks, and they take it right down, there's not a wheelbarrow left when they get done with them.
They still use that dump back there.
Yes.
They still use the dump back there. The stuff, hey, if y'all gonna use that road, dump, y'all need to have it painted, you know, so.
Anyway. Yeah,
So we don't have anybody behind actually on the. Good deal.
you guys will give me consensus on the hangar.
I say T hanger. So,
The 10 hangers where.
yeah, T hangers, that's,
T hangar, there you go. Okay, all right. So consensus being that we will change to T hangar. Okay.
yeah, at this moment, you know, if we had somebody on the line saying, hey, you build a hanger. You know, you get, you know,
I'd almost rather have somebody who's gonna run a business out of it.
well, yeah.
Because I mean, that's going, the revenue, they're gonna build revenue as well.
They're trying to run it out. Yeah, that's, yeah, wait.
Well, I know he messed up a buddy of mine's airplane, he crashed it. Got killed.
Oh, yeah.
That was, so,
He's lucky to be alive.
You know, yeah.
It just wasn't his day to die. And every day.
But that's, yeah, that was,
He's got our planes. He did.
I've heard that voice.
but that was Ernie that done that.
anyway, I say doing the team fights, so I think that, you know,
I think, yeah, once we get close to 30 or so, I think that's gonna start making an enticement.
Well, it's gonna give them, especially if we're gonna run a mechanic shop, you know,
Sure,
that's the biggest, you
You know,
know.
there's more single engine airplanes anyway. You know,
Exactly.
You don't repair a lot more Volkswagens, you know, as tomorrow.
The revenues for grants for this next year, they've got 149,000 in for the fence project. And that's money in it's in there already. Then the other that we have is, between a mix between the BIL money, it's another 200,000. But there's a mix between the BIL money and possibly the state grant. We don't know how much of the BIL money we will actually spend. Get the state moving on the concrete base and stuff, and we can move forward with Hanson on the hangars. And most of the hangars will be taken care of by the BIL money. Probably not all of it, but most of it will be. But it should help reduce or at least level out our amount, offset the lease amount.
Yeah.
You know, the BIL money should help offset the lease amount so that what we're charging shouldn't have to go up, I don't think. I can't tell you that that's the case. I'm just saying that that's what I'm thinking.
Well, for an airport, as young as this airport is, and, you know, the city's not having to dump a bunch of money in it, that's pretty good odds right there.
Right now, we're able to get back a lot, most everything we put into it. And especially with the grant, the biennial grant from the state for operations, that's 200,000 or 100,000 a year.
Sure.
The 2 years. That actually pretty much takes care of it, because we're spending somewhere around 89, 90,000 a year in our cost.
Yeah.
So, but that's going up as well. Mowing costs went up 5% or something like that.
So they think they'll get the fence started this year?
I'm not promising that. I'm just saying that they're working on it. And with the design, it's going to be a state project, so it won't be a federal required build as far as the fence goes. It won't be the 10 feet. It'll be 8 feet with 3-strand barbed wire. And they're not going to go into, basically it's the same thing as Mayfield. So they still have to. Oh,
6 foot, well, 6 and 2 is what they did make it. They got 6 foot with 2 foot bar. So it made it 8 foot. Okay. We had 5 before, and then before the tornado tore it out.
Yeah. That's not going to help for birds, of course. Nothing else for birds, but it should help with the deer. Unless someone leaves the gate open somewhere. Yes, that's really, I think there's something else you guys that I have not brought to your attention. They're actually doing design work and environmental and all their pre-construction stuff. They're doing it right now. They're in the process right now.
Still talking about moving them on past.
Yeah, once they get past that, then they're gonna go there. They've still got some other things. They're not ready to build. They're still working in the pre-construction phase. They still have some other things that the state has to deal with prior to actually putting the fence in.
But as far as our trees.
They're taking care of the cost of it.
But as far as our trees and everything, are all cut down, we're all good there. I mean, not,
I think they've got a few more that may have to come out, but that's gonna I think it's gonna be given from here on.
yeah, well,
To keep that approach clear, you're gonna. No, yeah, down there, you can just drop them. Go. That's a requirement. And if it falls in the swamp, it stays in the swamp, and that area, yeah. TVA, I think it's just, they want them girdled. They don't want you to cut them. They just want to girdle them. Let them die out naturally. So,
When are we gonna be able to get a title approaches? When are we be able to get their approaches? The approach in there so they can fly.
it's there.
You know,
Yeah, it's there.
just the minimums are $5. You might as well be VO4.
Well, the other thing we need to look at is possibly moving toward that, because we're not going to be able to make it any bigger, the airport.
Well,
There's a lot of things we can't do, others can do, but we can move towards the IFR. And that's something I've told Hanson I want to make sure that we're looking at.
the approach now is I think it's right at 12 feet. VFR.
I don't think we'll ever get an IFR on that other side. Because of the power lines and all that, I don't think we're gonna ever be able to do that.
And this one is pretty steep coming in. This is pretty.
We'd have to cut a whole lot more trees to get it down to where we can do the other, but eventually I think that's the game plan.
Well, in Mayfield, they're gonna have to raise runway. They closed the IR on one. They're gonna have to raise the whole runway.
Ooh,
on about halfway down, 1,000 foot mark up, and raise it up.
if you can get to 900 feet, you're gonna get it.
Down under this.
I've been in there. You'll get in.
You're a special case.
Yeah. I'll never tell
That's exactly right. That's what I'm saying.
You know, you can get in, like,
You heard the voice too, huh?
you get 900 feet on me. But you're just talking. You get, when you get on that glide slope and you're 900 feet, you're just talking 2 minutes getting down, and you've already got that plane in that,
Right.
going down, and you just,
you know, with the new synthetic vision now, it's very sweet. You just sit there and watch it.
I did.
no,
Somebody had a,
yeah, no, I wouldn't find, somebody had I flew, well, I think it was Monday, I think I was on, the weather was still.
Monday is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so I just went up and down the runway, I'm down a little bit, I looked up there.
You spot
Somebody had a high wing aircraft that was brightly colored.
No, it wasn't there.
When I kept thinking it might have been your Mooney.
No way. I just had no, like I said, well, I really had. I wanted the motor to run, don't know. So I just ran it.
burn fuel.
But I burned fuel from the.
Thank you so much.
No,
I want you to know I do appreciate that.
When I don't mind, when you move along and you start doing a 950 gallon, it kind of gets, almost gets perfect. You don't mind, and you know you're getting ripped off $9. Because they all can remember 25 cents a quart. $9 down. That plane don't run.
We buy a lot of fuel.
Well, that's all I have, sir.
All right, I just need to make a motion that we adjourn.
Thank you, Joe. That's about airplanes again. You're eventually get.
Yeah.
We don't hang around.
I just. Well, I got to think about that, more thought about it. It's been pretty much empty. We have these, we got a lot of these hangers out there. Sell them over there because they have an air. I think we're going to fly in for the weekend. I'm going like.
I think we're going to pick it up at Benton Ford.
I'm
Oh,
just saying.
no. No. Well, it's for the fire department.
You know,
Have- I assume the fire